Harry Styles just dropped his fourth studio album, Kiss All the Time, Disco Occasionally, and I want to talk about it. Now, I've been listening to it nonstop for the past like 3 days. Maybe nonstop is a little bit of an exaggeration, but I've been really taking the time to try and process and hear the songs because my initial impression isn't exactly what I feel about the album right now. And I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a review of what I think the album does really well, and then the weak parts about the album, and then, of course, my favorite songs from the album. If you enjoy this video, please leave a like and subscribe, and let me know down in the comments what your favorite song of the album is so far. But let's go ahead and dive into it. Now, I want to go ahead and refresh ourselves on the previous albums by Harry Styles, which were Fine Line, Harry's House, and then Harry Styles, of course. And it came out of Harry Styles, Fine Line, and Harry's House in that order. And what I thought those albums did really well is their beats. I always thought that Harry had a great way of like making music sound good. I never thought that that was a concern of his. The only problem that I've always had with Harry Styles in the past is sometimes I think his lyrics just don't fit the type of music. And that's more of just like a personal thing where I don't really like the story that some of his songs tell based on like how the beats are. But that's not necessarily saying that they're bad. It's just saying that it doesn't fit me. And when I first started listening to this album, I thought that it was going to be more of the same, where I really enjoyed the beats of the songs, but I didn't really enjoy the stories behind them, or I didn't understand the messages. But I didn't want to come out with the video too soon because I really do think that to give a proper review when it comes to music, you got to let it digest, you got to let it settle down, and then see what you think about it after a few days of listening to it. Because first time through, people aren't always going to like be huge fans of it. I mean, we saw this with the Sabrina Carpenter album. I don't know if people have warmed up to the Taylor Swift album, but I feel like that one's a little bit better than what it was when it first came out. All that to say that I actually have started enjoying the album a lot more recently. And it went from like my initial opinion being of like a 6 out of 10 to now being like an 8 out of 10, where I might actually add some songs to the playlist. The part that I didn't really appreciate about the album at the start was honestly how calm beats they were and the lyrics behind them, because it didn't give me like a sense of urgency or give me like this overwhelming feeling. It was more just like calming music. And that music is pretty enjoyable, but it's not usually like the type of music that I want to listen to. Usually I'm more on the like really upbeat or like the really low beat sad songs. I don't usually like to hang out in the middle. That's not a place where I'm typically at. And so that's why it took me a little bit of time to grow on the album. But the more that I listened to it, the more I could see like it was more like of a chill upbeat. But then I also really enjoyed the story behind some of these songs because I thought the lyrics were really well done in this album. Personally, I think my two favorite songs when it comes to the lyrics are going to be Coming Up Roses and The Waiting Game. And I've already seen a lot of people post some edits with the Coming Up Roses to some of their favorite movies or shows or scenes about two people and like a relationship. And I think it's really meaningful and impactful because that's kind of how like I took the song to be. And I know that it's one that really touched my heart. And I really appreciated it because it was a little bit different from the rest of the songs. You know, most of them are calm and upbeat, as I mentioned earlier, but this one was like the more like sad, more emotional type of song. And I think it ended up pretty well. Of course, it wouldn't be a Harry Styles song without those big upbeat tempo songs. And my two favorite in the beats category is going to be American Girls and Ready, Steady, Go. I just thought that those were the most like fun and energetic ones. And I just really enjoyed them. I was rocking out. But of course, it's always super hard to go perfect on an album. And I gotta say that the stinker here is gonna be Season 2 Weight Loss. I guess I just don't really get it from a lyrical perspective, and I don't really enjoy the beats. And so for me, that song was kind of just like a dud. I don't know, it just fell flat for me. But the rest of the album I thought were all respectable songs. And honestly, I could see myself like listening to them at any point. To be completely honest with you guys, I didn't even know if I was going to have a top 5 list for this album. I really thought it was going to be like a top 2 or top 3. But as I said, the weekend went on and I started to come around to this album a little bit better. And one thing that kind of helped change my perspective on it was that my girlfriend told me that this is more like party rave music instead of just like feel good personal music. It's meant for more like big events and just hanging out and vibing to it. And once I got that kind of perspective on it, it literally shifted like how I felt about the album, just because I understood the identity a little bit better. Like that was something that I was struggling with, was understanding the identity behind it. But hearing that, I was like, oh, wow. And I think that honestly like helped change my perspective on the album to give me my top 5 where it is right now. And I mean, from the beginning, I never thought that this was a bad album. I really want to say like hats off to Harry because I don't think he's ever missed with an album. Personally, I just think that some of his music doesn't fit my genre or what I enjoy, but the lyrics and the beats have always been great for him from him, and especially on this album, I think that they were excellent. And I would rate this album pretty highly, to be honest with you all. But let's go ahead and dive into the top five. And starting off the list at number five, I'm going to put Aperture. Now, this was the hit solo from the album. I mean, he came out with it about a month before, and I think he also came out with it when he released or when he announced the release of the album. And we've had a whole month to digest it. And I think it was honestly like a pretty good song. It was a really good precedent for what the rest of the album was going to hold because, I mean, it kept the same theme pretty well. And I really appreciate that from him because he knew his identity. I honestly don't have anything bad to say about Aperture. I think it's a pretty good song, but the other ones on the list are just better and resonated with me more. But let me know if you guys think that that's too low for it for being the solo. But I honestly think it's all right. My number four on this list got to be American Girls. I just love the upbeat tempo behind it. And I think it's kind of like a funny story because he's just saying like, my friends are in love with American girls. And obviously he's British. So, I mean, I'm assuming that all of his friends are British. And maybe it's more just like the idea behind what it means to be an American girl that he's like poking fun of maybe. But I just thought it was kind of funny and I really like it. So it's got to go number four. Now, my third favorite song on the album has to be Taste Back. And similar to the last one, I really like the upbeat tempo behind it and the lyrics are really enjoyable to it. And I just think that it's a funny picture, you know. I can't remember what the repeated verses. I want to say it's something about like, you just need a little love. You just need a little love. Like, okay, my singing isn't great, but I don't know. I just think it's super catchy and I really enjoyed it. So number three, it goes. Now, my number two for this album is going to be Carla's Song. And I want to say that it's kind of weird because I feel like these last three kind of all sound similar, but just have like a little bit of a different taste to them. And I really enjoyed Carla's Song just because I thought it was the most emotional of the last two that I've listed. And I think that it just, I don't know, it resonated with me. I really like the slowed down tempo to it. And I don't want to say that this song was necessarily like sad, but I did like how expressive and emotional it was. But then, of course, my number one has to be Coming Up Roses. And I hope this isn't a surprise to you guys because I did say that it was my favorite lyrically speaking. And I also think it's one of my favorites in terms of the beats. And so all around, like it just has everything that I enjoy. But just the emotion behind this song and seeing all the edits that it's been clipped onto, like it just reminds me of so many different times in my life and where I've like felt a lot. And I'm somebody who likes to sit in my emotions and just learn how to feel. Because of that, I think I really resonated with the song. I mean, the immediate expression that I get is that it's a love song. I mean, just listening to the lyrics, just for tonight, let's go out. And I can't remember how it goes, man. It's too soon. It's too soon. I'm not great with lyrics, but it's obviously talking about two people going out and just having a good time and just forgetting everything and having fun and enjoying it. And it's just, I don't know. It speaks to my heart. I can't describe it in any other way. It's just a perfect song. And I think honestly, I'd have to give it a 10 out of 10. And it's probably the only 10 out of 10 on the album, but man, do I love it. And there you guys have it. That's my review of the Harry Styles album. I hope you guys have given it a listen to. If you haven't, then maybe starting off with my top 5 list is a good place to go, but enjoy it on your own time. And then maybe give you guys as ranked comments down below and tell me if you guys agree with my list, if you guys would have it ranked a little bit differently. But I appreciate you all for watching and I hope you enjoy the album and have a great rest of your day.